Welcome to the Christian Success Show, the show that helps you achieve more success in every area of your life. I'm your host, Wes Young. Thank you for joining me today. The Christian Success Show is brought to you by Christian-Success.com. Visit Christian-Success.com to join the community and check out the special $7 deals designed to help you achieve big success in specific areas of your life. If you want personal help achieving more success, you can find out how to work with the top Christian life, success, and business coach and consultant at Christian-Success.com/coach. Now, let's get started with today's show. Today's show is the power of communication. And communication is important in every area of your life, and it's very important when you're trying to achieve more success. We have more ways to communicate today than we ever have in the past. Yet most people have poor communication skills. There's entire generations of people that are growing up with very limited face-to-face contact, which is required to build communication skills. When you spend all of your time communicating electronically by text or online through gaming or Facebook and things like that, you're not often building the skills that are going to help you later in life, the communication skills that you need. Let's think about this. If you've ever sent an email or texted with someone, and look at the problems that email or texting create versus talking face to face. When you send an email or a text, it's very difficult to relay the tone in which you're saying something. You might be saying something in a joking or funny way to you, but when it's read in text form on the other end, it can have a completely different meaning. And this is something that you have to be very aware of, whether you're in business or just communicating in other areas of your life, is it's very easy to miscommunicate when you're using email or texting, things like that. Now, they do have their purposes. I'm not saying that you shouldn't use email or texting, but what I'm saying is that they're not using the communication skills that you use when you talk face-to-face or even when you talk to someone on the phone. Often, I've got in situations where I ended up having to exchange a half dozen or a dozen emails to get something done or accomplished when a 2 or 3 minutes phone call would have solved the situation. So I've tried to, I do limit my time on the phone, but I've also tried to start limiting the time I spend sending emails and reading them, because often a quick phone call that has a definite end time, hey, I need to talk to you, I've only got 5 minutes, and then we get right to it. And we can solve whatever it is or get whatever it is that I need done in just a few minutes instead of wasting all the time exchanging emails. Email is a good form of communication when you need to document things so you have a record of it, and so you can go back and look at the record and make sure everyone's on the same page, but it's also time consuming. The way you communicate is very important, and this is in any form of communication that you use, whether you're talking face-to-face or on the phone or in an email or a text or some other way. The way you communicate is very important. You need to be a good communicator to reach more success in your life. If you're in business, to sell more and to deal with customers, you need to learn communication skills. One way to improve your communication skills is to spend some time thinking about what you want to communicate first. Think about what you want to get across before you start communicating. Practice what you're going to communicate. This is how a lot of people that speak operate, is they'll figure out what they want to talk about, and then they'll practice it to make sure they're saying what they mean to say. Prepare for all the important communications in your life ahead of time. Put some time in. Preparation time can help you become a better communicator. Here's an example, and it's something that my wife and I laugh about now, but at the time it wasn't necessarily funny. I can't remember the exact conversation, but this is what did stick with me. My wife was upset with me about something, and I responded to her. And as soon as I said it, I realized that it didn't come out the way I meant. And I immediately said, "What did you just hear me say?" And I've also, I think, heard a comedian say that same thing in an act. And maybe that's where I got it to say it to her. But the point is that it was such a miscommunication or communication error at the time that we both remember, because I said, "What did you just hear me say?" And you have to understand, in some communication settings, you don't have the opportunity to go back and correct something you said. If you say something to a customer that they take wrong, you can burn that bridge forever. They can refuse to do business with you again, so this can be very costly. And that's why I recommend spending some time thinking, practicing, and preparing for important communication areas. Work on clarity. Work on being clear. When you're communicating with someone, ask them if they understand what you're trying to tell them or communicate to them. Make sure that they understand. Make sure there's no room for doubt. If you don't feel like they understand, or you don't understand something, deal with it immediately. Simply ask if they understand. Make sure you both understand the same thing. If it's important, put it on paper. Even if you're talking on the phone or face to face, if you're dealing with something very important, take the time to write it down. Maybe after you're done talking, summarize it in an email or on paper. Send the email to the other person and say, "Hey, we had a great conversation. Thanks for your time. This is what I understand from the conversation. I'm just verifying that we're on the same page." And that way you have a record. Communication also requires listening. Most people think of communication and they only think about talking or sending an email or sending a text. But communication also requires listening. When you're having communication and a conversation with someone, make sure you're giving it your full attention so that you understand and you don't miss anything. If you want to become a better communicator, work on becoming a better listener, because as you build your listening skills, you're also building your communication skills. You're also learning how other people communicate and how they want to be communicated with. Multitasking while you're trying to communicate is very dangerous. How many times have you talked on the phone while you were doing something else, whether you're doing something on the computer or around the house? Often when you do this, when you try to multitask, you miss something important, or you get off track, or your mind wanders. If you don't have time to give your current communication your full attention, then schedule it for a later time when you do have time to give it your full attention. You can improve your communication skills, but you have to make a conscious effort to become a better communicator. And as you become a better communicator, it's going to pay dividends for the rest of your life, both on a personal level and on a professional level. Here's a secret that can really help you learn how to communicate better. Pick up a good book on copywriting or how to write sales letters. Copywriters learn how to communicate and influence people. And I'm not teaching you this isn't about teaching you how to influence other people, even though that's what a lot of communication is influence. But you can learn a lot on how to effectively and clearly communicate with other people by reading a book on copywriting or how to write sales letters. You can practice your communication skills by talking to strangers. A lot of times when I'm out to eat or somewhere, I'll run across somebody and we'll strike up a conversation. This is a great way to build your communication skills. You get subjected to how other people communicate, people you don't know, you're not comfortable with. And this is also a great way to overcome fear of communicating with others. Just take a minute the next time you're out, and if the situation comes up where it's possible, start communicating with someone you don't know a little bit. Maybe a friendly sales clerk where you're shopping, or someone looking at the same section in the bookstore as you're looking, or something like that. What does communication have to do with success? It's hard to achieve success alone. You can do a lot of work towards personal success on your own, but it's hard to reach a big success in your life alone. There's other people that are going to need to be involved, whether it's your family or other people, to help you achieve the success you want. So when you learn how to improve your communication skills, it can help you achieve the success you want. That's the power of communication and how to use it to achieve more success. I want to sincerely thank you for joining me today. I know that you have plenty of options on how you spend your time, and it's an honor you're letting me help you achieve more success in your life. God bless you. Don't forget to check out the special $7 deals designed to help you achieve more success in specific areas of your life at Christian-success.com. If you want personal help achieving more success, you can find out how to work with the top Christian life, success, and business coach and consultant at Christian-success.com/coach. Have a blessed day.